Hello everybody, my name is Asher and today we are going to be playing some Theme Park Tycoon 2 where I shall make my debut park for this YouTube community. This park started off as an idea I had of randomizing each land and every ride within it. But after getting two variants of Ferris wheels for the first area, I gave that idea completely up and will instead just be randomizing each land as we go along. The first area we got from the spinner had the theme of ancient. Think of your temples and ancient civilizations. So let's get into it. My plan here is very simple. Imagine this green here is the plot, and down here at the very bottom is our entrance. My idea is to have an entrance down here for the park where I'll add a few little details. Two buildings to the side. I'm not sure what exactly they will be just yet, but there'll be some smaller buildings, maybe an information center as one of them. Two large stores going down the middle, heading towards the mighty pyramid that'd be at the end. Now this pyramid, I want to have a sort of restaurant at the front of it. And I also want something like a drop tower, a Ferris wheel or an observation tower in the middle of the ride. I want it to be overlooking a sort of a bay. A nice ocean where all the fireworks will take place and happen. So it means we'll have to have a lot of access to looking over the water. And then over here to the right, I would like to have a vintage cars. Well, over here to the left, sorry. I would like to have a vintage cars. Sort of goes through a bunch of temples and so forth. Makes its way back in. To the right, I have no idea. Smaller little pyramids on either side which signify you heading into a new area of the park. And I'm thinking of centering the story of the park around explorers. Exploring a Mesoamerican Aztec temple that has some kind of magical power in it that allows people to travel between dimensions by walking through these temple buildings. I feel like that's an excellent way to explain why some of these areas are going to be so much different from this. The vintage cars, I feel like, will be a good way for exposition to explain all of that stuff creatively through visual storytelling, through the rides that you'd be going through. And I believe in the middle, this drop tower here, we will make the sort of machine that the Aztecs build to allow for these dimensional travels. That will be the heart of this area. As you might see here, we have laid out the entire positioning for the giant pyramid and the buildings that are surrounded. These might be moved, but we'll see later down the line. Now in the pyramid, I want to have a drop tower. I would love to have a roto drop, but the problem is it doesn't center itself well enough. I've tried other things. A swing ride, I think, centers itself quite well. I think it may be a bit too wide. So I saw a video of someone who had a detector of sorts that would light up as you walk past it. Yeah, path pressure plate. And I think I'm going to use this. This is what I'm going to use. So let's try and get some lights. Place in here. Neon light. Trigger when plate is stepped on. Oh, it's already connected, is it? Oh, I gotta click it right. Yeah, look at that. That's exactly what we want. Already done. Hey guys, so thanks for watching my first video on building the entrance. I hope you enjoyed it. Next time will be a bit like that. But you know, I like it. I like it. Walk through, light goes on, maybe a smoke emitter as well. But you know, the simpler the better sometimes. So let's get started on making this entrance. Now, Let me turn on my display. This here is the thing that we sort of want. We want this nice sort of entrance, and I'm thinking of building some statues to go up top. But this is the general idea of what we want. There's a lot of engravings that we'll have to go into making this, but I don't think that's too much of an issue. I think we can handle that quite well. Let's go ahead and get started with it, shall we? Let's place this down. Custom snapping 0.05 is nice, basic. So I guess this will also be the step to actually get to the park level. Even looking at that, that seems pretty nice as it is. And they seem to be surrounded by a very sort of standard brick wall. Like that. I'm gonna have to move this over just a bit more. And then now we're just going to add some patterns and shapes into the actual areas. Now, as this would be where the pressure plate is set, I think we can probably move this flat side to the other part. And add some just shapes into here, but I want to see, do we have pre-existing shapes to use? It doesn't look like it. That should be fine. Look at that. Now let's go back. Okay, so it's sort of a What's do we have? Concrete looks like it might be the best. Metal corroded. Maybe if I add some greenery around, it will stick out a bit more. But other than that, I think this is fine. Yeah, these colors so far look pretty good. I'm pretty happy with them. A wise man once told me that shading isn't about making something realistic. It's about tricking people into thinking it's realistic. I should probably group this before I put it in, shouldn't I? Nah. But what I should do is maybe just spin these guys around. Let's get rid of that, get rid of that. Just any parts that can stay the same won't be moved. I don't need to select these because they are mirrored, but I just want to make sure. Yeah, these are the parts we need to swap around. Oh. And it's fine. Oops. We need to activate funny mode. There we go. Funny mode in. Check that out. Isn't that perfect? I love that. I think that perfectly captures what we want. Now we just got to duplicate that to the other side. And then work towards actually fitting them together and then getting onto the roof. Now the roof is going to be easy. This one makes the roofs look quite complex, but I'm going to do something more like this without the shaping like that. I would love to do something like that, but I don't think I have that level. Maybe that sort of part there I could do. Something more akin to these roofs here. That's what I'm going to be doing. Even then, that entrance looks pretty good. So, let's spare you all the boring details, and I'll see you on the other side. Alright, we have moved one into place. It took a bit of farming. We are now broke. But one of the three is in place, and we are going to be adding onto it. But the two next to it will just remain the same as this. But for now, that's a start. It also allows us to figure out the space we need. Like, we might make whatever these buildings be slightly curved, and we're going to make them modular from now on, because boy was that a troubling build. So yeah, that's slightly annoying. What we may need to work on is expanding the money farm, and I think that's one of the boring things you don't want to do, but I kind of have to. But for now, it's just waiting for money. It really is. And that kind of sucks. But, you know, we'll get there. Now, finally, after lots of time, we have finished all three of them. This isn't the final product. I think I put these here because according to this, one of these reference image, I forgot which one, this one here, had sort of a lot of more curved shapes in it, and I was interested in that, and I wanted to see what we could do with that, but yeah, they don't look too nice. So I may be trying some new things later on, maybe even just connecting these with the wall, or actually building a nice thick curve up to it. But for now, this is the entrance. We got a pressure plate in here. We got to add the details to make it light up as people step through, and they are quite expensive, so I had to put normal parts in there. But next, I think we're just gonna add the little lights and make it look pretty cool when you walk through. Got to add gates to replace turnstiles. I'm thinking of doing a very Disney World based one where you got the ticket machines that you got to press your ticket against or your phone against. Let's finish up the entrance and move on. Well, now with that entrance finally out of the way, I think we'll try and make some of the lights around here. So the pressure plate is a very standard shape, but I will not use it to place down. I have done a bit of money farming, as you can see, at $600,000. So how do we want this entrance to look? I know I said Disney. I want to inspire it off of the Disney World turnstiles a bit. They don't really have turnstiles anymore. Aww. And when you step on it, it'll glow. And I think the sort of color we want to use for this park is what's like a color of adventure. I think green for nature might do. And we'll just give all of the lights that sort of attention. But yeah, that seems to work. We got like a nice bing, and I think we need to give it a bit of shape. Don't do it, don't step on it. Wow. Why? Let's add the actual stands, shall we? Maybe even I might not just make it a circle. I might make it a actual sort of like tablet shape. But then can we get just like a simple light? No, it doesn't look like it. Unless we can shrink this down. Unless this becomes our tablet screen. Let's just do no snapping real quick and mess around a bit. I like that. Of course, we are going to have to bulk the lower halves up. Yeah, I mean, you can certainly act like... Alright, we did it. After a painstaking long time, we finally managed to make it work. We got 3 sequences in here, each hooked up to their own one. And eventually we'll have to do these side ones. But for now, I think I might just duplicate these panels over. Just leave them off to give the impression of them being there. Because it's more the main entrance we want to work, you know? So we don't need those to work. Could even turn them to like on during the day. But look, I made it so it does a nice pulsing effect when you step on it. And the 2 tablets are beside it light up, as if you've scanned them. But the cooldown rather short, but at a second. I think the cooldown still gets procced when there's an NPC on it. But I think it's a nice touch, and it's pretty much what I wanted. And I may even add just like a spotlight. Boom, check that out. Boom, boom, nice. No, I honestly love it so much. Well, that was really a lot of work that we did just to build this entrance. While we got the main middle entrance actually functioning and lighting up and shooting out smoke, the side entrances won't for a bit. I may add that eventually, but that's not high on my priority list. I still got to recolor the temple at some point, but I'm probably going to do that when I finish the park or the area itself. But for now, I think that's a good place to leave it. We've done a lot of work. We've finished everything we need to do for this episode, and we've discussed our future plans. So, thank you for watching. Thanks for coming along. I hope you all have a splendid day, and I'll see you all later.